Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to session 2 of the certificate program in prompt engineering for healthcare. We are excited to have you back as we dive into advanced prompting techniques and use cases today. Before starting with today's wonderful session, let's refresh our minds with a short video of life at IIHMR. Thank you, everyone. We are looking forward for the engaging and insightful session today. Over to you, Akash, sir.
Just give me 1 second. I'm just setting up the why is this? Can I share my screen, Poonam?
Yes, sir, you can share, but it is not visible right now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just stuck in my this thing. Okay, yeah. Where's my side thing? Working on. Okay, and why it's weirdly. Yeah. Okay, can you guys see this? See my
Yes, sir.
screen?
Yes, sir, you can do a full screen mode.
No, I need to go back between the this thing. Give me 1 minute. If this is visible, then I will start.
Yes, sir.
So I think welcome back, guys. And so we had discussed a brief about how you work with your LLMs, what is a prompt, what are the basics things like your output management, temperature, K-top, top P. So that I think we have worked, and hopefully I think you guys have some got some time to go back and try playing with those parameters and kind of uh, on your own experimenting with the ChatGPT or with Gemini. Now, I think all of you have some confidence in this, or how is it going? You can drop a text, or you can do whatever easy it is. Yeah, I'm getting some text. Okay. Okay, great. So I guess today what I have done is that last time we were facing issue with our Gemini, and I tried to kind of simplify it. I will send this it's refreshed and okay, clear. Yeah. So this is the uh, AI Studio by Gemini. Same thing we would have played, but I think for our work, it allows us some amount of free things. So it's a preview, so there's no the cost is there, but it's only for the API. So we can use this. So I'm sharing the link on the chat, and uh, you guys can open this. If you are using ChatGPT, it's fair and fine, no problem on that. If anyone's using Gork, go ahead with that, no issues. But this pretty much works better than what we had been playing with Gemma engine. So okay, I hope all of you are able to set up your environment. This is not changed. We have kept all, sorry, we have kept all the parameters as it is, and nothing much has been. Yeah, it is just the same thing. Copy, same. So yeah, I guess this I can clear. I can hold a new file, remarks and get prompts. Everything is done. I don't know why this is still there. Fine. Some minor things. Okay, so if you guys are set up with the oh, is this case? Okay, wait, give me 1 minute. I think I have screens, entire screen. Oh, okay, that will allow me to play. Just tell me if you can see when I'm switching between the screens. So I'm now on my slide deck, and if I go to my Gemini Studio, are you able to see my browser?
Yes, you're visible.
Yeah, great, great. Mm, okay, so yeah. So coming to today's topic, what we will explore is we'll go a bit beyond into the our understanding of how to work on prompts and how we can really use these prompts to more benefit from a healthcare perspective. My audience at this point was largely dental guys, but then some examples are from dentistry, but then it can be generalized across. So don't worry on the example parts. So yeah, I think what we have learned earlier was zero shot prompting. It's clear it is just one instruction, what we classically use in our common thing. And they have one shot where you give some examples. Then there is a few shot where you give two or three examples and ask the machine to learn from that and get back. And then there was system level prompting and contextual prompting, role prompting. So this is the thing we have worked around, or techniques we have kind of understand. Remember this thing, these are the basic techniques, and this is used as a kind of, ordinarily, and we would have been using it, but then we have never understand or kind of looked in the depth to see that, okay, is this is what I have been using, or this is what I kind of have been working around. So that is, I think, list that we had worked. Now, today, I think we have to cover a bit deeper section of that. Same again, how you start building your prompts. So we have, I don't know, it's not clicking it. We have something called a step back prompting. We'll come to this. This is the first thing. And then we have chain of thoughts prompting, or COT prompting, what we call. The next thing for us is the TOT, no, it's okay, self-consistency prompting. Again, a type of prompting. And then we have tree of thoughts, or TOT prompting. These are basic, or kind of even called as the prompts that we can use for our day-to-day healthcare requirements. We also have somewhere, if I'm going correctly, yeah, we have React prompting. This is not commonly used into the clinical setup or even a lab. You mostly use it for web search or database. It is where reasoning and other things. But then when we go for the next session, what we'll do is we'll quickly go through the React prompting with an examples and with the um, automated prompting. And this is where I think we'll also build on our capstone project. So these two things are one that will start today at by the kind of tail end of this program. And when we are on our third, that is approximately, if I'm looking correct, is on 20th, we will have a more clearer idea how to use APIs, or how to use the React prompting to work better or to kind of have a better holding, and that's where your capstone project will also land in. So we'll start with our well back. So, it's going back. Okay. So starting with the step back prompting. Okay. So what step back prompting is actually is that instead of directly solving the problem, you are asking your machine or your LLM to look at the foundational step or knowledge about the area. What it does is that it gives a bit, say, context to your prompt. It's like this thing, like when you're traveling from point A to point B, what you usually do is that if it's first time you're going in, then you check, okay, which it's a right side turn or left side turn, or you just kind of, keep on confirming, like on your Google Maps, or you can just ask people don't usually do that, but then you can ask someone on a road saying, is this place in the same place? So you're just reconfirming with the knowledge that you can get from the other section. So step back is like, before you answer, you think a bit, and then that's how the machine also tries to do when you encourage it to do the step back. So if let's take example, like um when you have a patient that has came with, say, a gum problem, okay, before directly writing final diagnosis of gingivitis or inflammation of gums, you would think for a moment, okay, is there any other cause that might have caused it? A wound, a burn, or some irritation? Probably yes, probably not. But then that's where you wait for a moment, or you think, okay, what are the options? And then you say, okay, no, the other wiped out. So the last exam option for me is just the inflammation. So that's how the step back prompting works. So let's take an example. Okay. Say when there's a patient, or when you want to, or you have a patient who is come with the bleeding gums. Now, hopefully, we all have set up an environment on the Google LLM. You can copy this prompt or put it up into the. Sorry, this is where I need to kind of move back between the direct one. So this is your direct prompt. Like if I can put in the chat. So this is the direct prompt. You can copy from the chat, which is says, suppose you have a patient who's came with a complaint of bleeding gums. Now you're asking machine like, if I can move this, I don't know, but I need to have this. Oh, okay, why this happens? No, oh, I forgot. This is plain text. Yeah, and I say that. It might take a moment because I have set my output length to maximum, but let me reduce it later on. Somehow it's coming at larger steps that I. Okay, but okay, it has given me step one, step two. I don't know why it has given me step one, step two, but then fine. So what it has done is actually it has somehow done the step back prompting only, but let me go back. Have I trained the model earlier? Okay, give me 1 second. I need to refresh it because it's using the earlier trained model. You guys can try this and see what output you get. Okay, maybe my model is already trained on these things. That's why it's creating an issue. Mhm. Compare. That's why it's causing issue. You guys can try, see what answer the machine is giving to you. Really, I will not want the output to be so high. I will restrict it to 2000. 20,000. Okay, let me try this. Why it's getting so much for a two? Okay, so I think it has given some home remedies and then it has given some other things, but it has kind of started to actually act as a step back prompt only, but let me take a step back. Have you guys tried? What are the output that you're getting? Anyone can also try on ChatGPT, Gork, whatever you have. Anyone has tried? What is the output? Output is are you getting some this brief large outcome? Or sorry, output even after restricting to some to some words? I think I should have done it 200 rupees to less later. Let me put it 500. Even 500 is one page. 300 is better, I guess. Let me try running this one again. Again, rerun. Okay. Okay, what is next? This 300 works very well. 1000 रखना पड़ेगा. Mm-hmm. Something's going wrong. Mm-hmm. Has anyone tried on ChatGPT? What is the answer that you're getting, or anyone tried on Quark or any other model, even the other things? Okay, Claude, what is happening there? It's, okay, no, it's still kind of giving the large. Okay, I think I cannot restrict him. This is like, have I kept it to one? The maximum this thing at one setting. Temperature, yeah, that's where temperature is getting clarified. Bit as clear as possible. Hopefully it dries better now. Fine. Let me just put the next prompt. So if I look at the prompt that we had earlier, it was basic prompt like you suggest a treatment for gum bleeding. Now what we are doing is that list the possible causes of gum bleeding. So we are becoming smarter and telling machine that before you when you start, see what is causing gum bleeding, and on the top two causes of gum bleeding suggest a treatment. So that's making him or your model to step back. Okay, first he needs to understand what is causing a gum bleeding and then give me the answer. So let me try once this thing, and hopefully the model again is not hallucinating, or I see image based as plain text. Okay, it's working on ChatGPT. Uh-huh. Okay, so it has like wow, 11 causes it is given, and top two. Hold on. Too much data, too much data. Fine. Well, okay. There is significant difference between the answers, but the problem is that it has become too. I cannot trust it, this thing. If I'm looking at 2000 also, I don't know it works or not. Let me retry once. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It will cut in between, I guess, because it's not going to. Yeah. Worst way of working is Google. Why? Mhm. I hope, hopefully it works. I don't know what is happening wrong, but yeah, I'll go back to the normal answers on the lengthy ones. If you have got something like this causes, and then it has given some answer like, but I don't know why it's coming for gum bleeding ke liye, it's giving me weird answers, but yeah.
Got it in Claude.
Okay, great, great. So the idea about this is that you technically give a prompt which leads machine to step back from directly answering and think about the general knowledge. So anyone can try this patient scenario and see what we can get. I'm putting it in chat and okay, this took so this is one. Yeah, this is much better, I think. This is the prompt which we all kind of try using this prompt, direct prompting what we have, classify this case as an emergency or not. Uh, and that's a direct prompting, or we can call as the an output will be kind of on this line. And try now. You can build on your own. Try to build a prompt or how you can build a step back prompt for this. Or just try to imagine how you can work around stepping back and giving a correct prompt to the machine. You can give me the kind of paste the prompt that you think is best here, and we can see which one will give the best answer. You guys are getting my point. Like this is the patient scenario we have. Now you have to build a step back prompt to help your machine to classify this issue as a dental emergency or not a dental emergency. So you can try and let me know like what prompt you have built, or you can just put the prompt or output whatever you got into the chatbot. Sorry, not chatbot, chats. This one might be list of causes of severe tooth pain. No, no, the output you want from machine is that the machine should be able to classify this case as a emergency or not emergency. So your prompt should be on the same line.
Yeah, not able to copy that. So.
Um, okay, this is not copyable. I can. What was the another way I can do it? Last time we had done some weirdly. Poonam, is there another way that we can work around this? If it's not working on chat, then yeah, I can send it on text file. Sorry, I forgot that. This I'll remove. This is not required on. Save ads. I can get it beyond download. Step back. It went. Screenshot. Yeah. Anyone else is able to work on this? If, I think you might not be able to copy, but you try with this now and see what is the prompt that you, or just share me the prompt that you have tried with your system, whatever you are working on. If focus on the dental emergencies, because what we consider as a dentist or what we consider as a healthcare guide as an emergency. There's a patient who has who is full 48. Screen kind of keeps on. Yeah, 48-year-old, and he has sudden, okay, severe tooth pain in the upper right molar region. Pain rises to eye, worsens and is accompanied by facial swelling. So swelling, and then you can have sudden and severe as a keywords here. That technically, if you look from the dental perspective, yes, this is a dental emergency because there is a swelling and then the pain is severe. But then before, like, or how you arrive at this finding is that this is a kind of emergency is what? Okay, some people are putting. Let me check once and. No, but then what is the prompt that you guys have added to get this? The machine has classified data is fine. Okay, the case prints a severe red flags. Okay, fine. Then what prompt you added here? Can you share the prompt? Okay. Why is it emergency? Or give ans or not and give answer accordingly. Okay. Mm-hmm. Can you please classify this case is a dental emergency or not from the case study and symptoms? Okay, this is not an kind of example of, you can say, a step back because you're still giving a direct prompt. It might work well because the machines are not trained, but if I can get this thing, see, you can try it now using this prompt. List the criteria or signs that indicate a dental emergency. Then use that list to assess if the case qualifies as an emergency. So what you can do, if I have, I already copied somewhere. No, okay, this is my case. Let me put that case into my engine, and this guy's still running weird way. Okay, I'm forgetting every time doing this. So this is my case. Okay, hopefully I'm still visible on this, and where I went. Now my prompt should be this thing: list the criteria or that indicate a dental emergency. Then use this to assess if the case qualifies as an emergency. So let me try once. Get put this mark so indicating this is my sentence. And this is my A every time the same issues. There's a plain text. So this is my prompt technically. And let me run this.
Can you paste that, sir, on our screen?
Yeah, I will do that.
Text file.
Um, this you can just read and copy because it's just one line only. So you can just read from here and design your own. Don't just copy that same one. It's using too much in actually outputs at one point. Bus. Okay. So yeah, I think what it has done is that it has first went to understand the criteria for the damage, where is pain, infection or abscess, uncontrolled bleeding, trauma. So this is what the machine knows already, classifies as a emergency. Now what it has went back and look after looking this knowledge, it has seen what symptoms. There's sudden severe tooth pain, pain radiates, worsen. So assessment is that there's a case of this is unequivocally early emergency merits. It's a given some reason why there's sudden severe. So it's trying to be now. This machine is trying to be more pro. Kind of pros in this. I really don't know. We want to reducing the temperature. Why does when that? But let me try. Then, yeah. So this is how you will see a bit difference when you are trying to step back. It will be giving a logic as to why it has arrived to your to the output that it has came. And remember this thing, the step back prompting is one of the very basic idea behind the explainable AI. So when we were kind of working, or when there has been a lot of discussion that AI is a black box, we don't really know why the machine is actually coming with an output. Yes, the machine do tell something, but then how it has arrived at the reason. So that basis of building a XAI model or explainable AI model actually stems from the idea that machines can give a reasoning back on why or how it arrived. So here you can see that assessment, it has done something, it has said criteria one, criteria two. So that's how the new models also are trying to be more explainable when they are looking at the healthcare at least. So there is a lot of demand from the healthcare guys that they don't want just model giving them output. They want model to also look at the context, understand and tell us why they have came with a particular reason. So maybe once we are done with this model and next model, when we are going for a capstone, we'll have some options. You can ask, or you can even build. Interestingly, if you are using AI Studio, though it is weirdly working, it has an option here of build. We'll come to that in later, but this build actually helps us. And if you're really good at prompt engineering, you could build few things for yourself also. So we'll look at this in a capstone. Coming back. So anyone has tried with this updated prompt and see? Okay, wow, 14. But yeah, I think this is Claude. So yeah, cool. This is good. So and it mentions this is what your basis of XAI or explainable AI starts, where the machine just randomly doesn't tell you the output. It tells you why. So now you can see, okay, out of 14 criteria, your criteria meets four. Basically, it is a reason for emergency. This is clear to all. Are we clear with the step back prompting? If anyone also has some example they want to share, they can put in chat. We can go through it. Okay. Thanks, Neil, for sharing that. Now coming to the next part, that is the chain of thought prompting. This is interesting, and I think this is where a bit of, I'll not say agentic AI, because agentic AI does a bit things differently. What we call as agents of AI, or AI as an agent, come into play. When I say agentic AI works bit independently in that session or that focus, but agents of AI actually work linked to your kind of what I call as a large language model and building on that. So the chain of thought actually says that it's a technique where AI breaks down the reasoning into a logic. Take an example of this. If you're standing or if you're approaching a traffic signal, you see that there is a red light and there's a timer. The timer says that it's around 10 seconds before the signal turns green. Now, what you will do? You'll think, okay, I'm now on my third gear in my bike, or my speed is 40 kilometers per hour. Not possible in Bangalore, but let's take an example of that. So you will think, okay, if I slow down enough that I will reach, or I'll kind of, reach that zebra crossing before it turns, I can say green, then I can directly accelerate and go fast. So what you're doing is that you're looking step by step. How should I take a step to ensure that I don't need to restart or stop my bike or what my vehicle at the signal? That will save some amount of petrol, and also save some amount of stopping time. So your logic goes looking, okay, so at 10 seconds there are three cars behind me, and I will approach at this speed. So you'll try to reduce the speed. So you're applying some logic that is human built in there. So the same thing happens in healthcare. When someone comes to you with a pain or something, or if any case comes in, there's a pain in my tooth, you don't just say, come, we'll extract the tooth. That's not how we deal with the patients. You say, okay, let me check What is the cause? What is causing the pain? Is there a reason that it is the something that is non-repairable or non-replaceable maybe? If yes, then yes, I need to go with extraction. But if not, then what are the best possible actions? So your mind is actually using the chain linked to one process and that what is next. There can be a, what I can say, the process might halt somewhere. It's like a kind of, what we call as A leads to B, but maybe B is broken. You're not going there. But there's some chain of thought that preparing into the your processes. So what happened? Okay. I'll do one thing. I'll share this entire table on a this thing. Hopefully it works. Can't do. Case prompt. No, this is what was a case meantime. Sorry. Mm, then- So this is directing your prompt. This is one line, so I can paste it here. Okay, I'll come to this agentic and AI agents later on. This is the one thing that a lot of people are questioning. So this is the patient's kind of a case, and let us hold on this. And now, if you're just putting a question, okay, say, what is diagnosis? Then you see what is the output you're giving, and then you try this thing. Why? Sorry. This is your prompt for COT. You can type it, and the bigger ones I'll put on the. So if I say this, I can copy this patient complaint and then I want really this thing to be not huge. 1,000 is the maximum required for me, nothing more. 10,000 okay. Time the same issue. Okay, why is it so much more? It's concise answer. Okay. All periodontitis, sometimes primary symptoms is zing on biting. Okay. What is all periodontitis? Okay, tooth syndrome is primary. Something is broken here. Okay, weird. You can try also in your system and let me see what comes and let me keep it as open as possible. This guy is kind of out of control. Mhm. Control C, Control V never works for me. Okay, let's say this run. Okay, this is how it's going step by step. I hope what the machines that you are using or the GPT that's or other things that you're using also kind of gives the same. But what it's doing is basically is that it's so if I look if I don't know how many of your dentists are here is like a complaint which is of coming of pain while chewing and Hurts to touch. Okay, that's it. I think TOP positive thing. It's usually periapical periodontitis or sorry, apical periodontitis or something kind of that. Yeah, apical periodontitis, that thing. So it has arrived at the thing only, but let's see what it has done. So analyze chief complaint. This is functional pressure is being pushed down into the sockets. Direct pressure per is TOP positive. S- Yeah, in what support? Okay, something pedal widening. It has said then. So likely the same as a apical periodontitis or dental abscess. What it says, white fit symptom, infection start tooth now. Okay, what dentist would look to for a large cavity. Okay, a spot. It also says that what it has to look to, or kind of what are the common radiological features that you can. The other thing is they are looking at cracked tooth syndrome, but then I think yeah, that's also fine. It might, but it will not have pain only on chewing. It might have. I don't remember then. Okay, consider less likely but possible causes, high filling, gum abscess. Okay, so what it has done just arrived at this two options that is most likely. So that's how it came through a chain of thoughts. Like, like if when I was thinking like, is it a what do I call as a cracked tooth syndrome? Then it looked that because of two things. If I'm correct in my knowledge, is that a fracture would not only pain when there's a pressure, it might pain even the tongue moves there. So that might be one of the reasons. But then there was not clearly explicit mention, so it's going up the options. Okay, what is this machine said? Most probably based on the glaze, most likely cracked tooth. Okay, or acute. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, correct. Deep seek was wow. Deep seek is much more concise in this thing. Okay. Anyone else has tried? Cool, cool. Yeah. So, okay, I think this gave you idea about, let's say, how the chain of process. Basically, you need to just give a additional line here is like let's think step by step to decide. So this is kind of your key word when you're looking at COT or chain of thought kind of prompt building here. We're clear on this. Now let's try one thing. Yeah, you can use this. This is a scenario, and you can just ask your chat GPT, anyone there. I'm giving this into the chat. Um, Same. We want to know the diagnosis or possible provisional diagnosis. I right. Provisional diagnosis. So you build one prompt for this and show me what is the prompt you have built and what is the outcome it has came. You guys can try with this and let me know like if you are facing an issue or if you are, or you can do this thing also. I correctly presenting. You can look at this as a reference model for you. Let me know like in another it's 4:55. Maybe by 4:58, I think or in another 2 minutes, just give me the idea on what you have been able to write or what you want to build. You can also share a screenshot instead of sharing the text because screenshot is much easier to share. Um, okay, I have 1 more minute before I say anything. Okay, are you guys done? Should we move for next? Mm-hmm. Okay. So just a quick, hopefully I'm able to do this. Yeah, the quick comparison between what is the COT and what is step back prompting. When you're building a chain of thought prompting, you're asking model to solve or kind of, by breaking tasks into step-by-step reasoning. Again, a part of your explainable AI and also the basis on which your agents are also built on. And or yeah, agents, yeah, not agentic agents, yeah. And then a step back prompting is where you are just trying to again ask the model, like, look at the general knowledge, show me that, and then come back. So they both work on the same principle as what your explanation or explainable part of AI works on. The idea is that the COT guides the model through logical steps to reach. So you understand, okay, is this path a right? Or has the machine hallucinated because it just took a wrong path? Or has the machine came to right conclusion, but the process is wrong? There can be something like, it has given a right answer. It's how you write a 10 question, 10 marks question in an exam. You might have all things correct, your final answer is correct, but the process is wrong. So that is what actually the COT thing works. While here it's more of a recall thing to just understand, okay, just give a refresh to your memory, see what exactly has happened, and then puts for. This is the thing is it's linear, progressive, while this is a two-step one. The step back is like, take a step back and then go. This is a more profound way of doing. Let me understand what you have done. Are you correct or not? And you can also tell model, okay, this step looks incorrect for me. Let's refresh that. I'll give one example. If this machine again works correctly. Patient came with white colored, sorry, colored scrapable, scrapable lesion in the lower right buccal mucosal region, close to first and second molar. Give a step by step explanation explanation for about provisional diagnosis. Okay, something went very scab like नहीं था, scrapable ही था. But मोदार नहीं, first and second मोदार ठीक है. So much grammar. Let me run this prompt and let's check. Yeah, this is DeepSeek. Oh, it given like detailed response only. Let me open what DeepSeek is given. Now, technically, when I wrote this, it is not leukoplakia or leukoplakia is culpable, but like not that easily. Or candidates, it's more about the tobacco pouch keratosis, which happens most commonly in the buccal mucosal region because that's where the individual person puts his tobacco, what do you call it? I don't know. Tobacco bolus. Okay, that's a better name there. So let's see what the machine is giving. Mucous surface, bacteria, fungal. Okay, so step one is looking at scrapable. Good. Okay, pseudomembranous candidiasis. Justifying wide scrapable tobacco. They are not mentioned about the chemical burn is here. Thermal burn. Okay. Okay. um. Okay, so this has not given me the answer pseudomembranous candidiasis. Well, it fits, but I think the main thing it has missed here is that the where the lesion has erupted. Candidiasis erupts all over the thing, but when I'm specifically, if I say focus specifically, sorry, on buckle, what I run, right, left, what I mentioned, on lower right buccal causal region. Can you apply step by step logic for diagnosis? Hmm. What is this thing? Chronic chewing. Okay, it's still not able to understand the problem, but I think yeah, that's where maybe this is not trained on tobacco pouch keratosis. How about tobacco pouch? Oh, creatosis, it's thinking it's not skippable. I don't think that would be there. Yeah, this is where I think it is able to give to some reason why it's not. Yeah, I said the correct. It has missed on the skippable part. Tobacco pouch is skippable to some extent, but yeah, I think primarily it is a creatosis, so it works. So I think you guys got the idea how this chain of thought thing works. Let me go next. So this is the next one, what we call as a self-consistency prompting. So it's like a advanced version of your chain of thought, but instead of just one single chain of thought, this is a multiple reasoning kind of way. So there can be difference. What we did now actually with the machine was actually try to think multiply, but then again we knew the answer. We tried to kind of force it to understand the 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 same kind of like why is this probability or what is other probability there. So let's take another example here. So if you have this case, a 42-year female presents with persistent bleeding while brushing, gum tenderness, and bad metallic taste in her mouth. Now, what you're doing is that if you look at the prompt here, okay, where is that? Let's think step by step and decide on likeliness. What you're doing is that it is looking at step one, step two, step three, and saying, oh, this is the best possible answer it can give. If I come here, what it's saying is that it has to still think step by step, but it has to generate three possible reasoning paths before deciding. The variation here is that after even going step by step, it has to apply what is the best possible out of it. So it's again a chain of thought with a democracy. What is the what of these three things a best answer would be? So let me try. I'll put this into the um chatbot, and this is your case, and let's this would be my prompt. Okay, let's think step by step and generate three possibilities. So let me give a try. You can also try it out and let's see what we get. Every time I'm doing the same mistake. What? Oh, I took the wrong thing. Much time I same mistake. Let me run this. You can also try with the COD prompting first and then try doing your self COD or self consistency prompting. Okay, what persistent bleeding while brushing, gum tenderness, bad metallic taste. The triad of symptoms, okay. Reasoning path one, the standard gum disease pathway. It has came with them some things. And reasoning two, reasoning three, okay. Anug is not a thing. Okay. What? Necrotizing ulcerative gingivitis, huh? Anyone has got a different answer here? Why it went with this way? Gum says, what has happened to a patient? Tenderness, bad metallic taste. That's what stuck, I think. But Mhm. I think this should not have been an answer, what I understand. Yeah, it should have been early stage periodontitis, but cool. The machine has gone, ChatGPT has gone a bit. Why it is saying Anna is less common, but a specific symptom, especially the metallic test, more perfect than other. Okay, so there's a reason why this is saying this way. Uh-huh. Deeper chronic periodontitis and others. Okay. Anyone has got a different answer than Anug? Hopefully, this is not the good thing to. Oh, okay. You also got Anug? No. Good. Final diagnosis is that. Okay. I don't know what is happening with Gemini, but yeah, this guy has gone a bit trickier here. Has it gone to okay? Bad Metasas gives, but ठीक है. Cool. Anyone else? Who has got the least lethal diagnosis ever? Maybe periodontitis or even a gingivitis. Symptoms one. Okay. Okay, but then you can identify the difference that you have got when you're using just plain COT, what we are doing here, where it was just looking at step one and explaining the way, and this one when you're using the kind of self consistency, where the machine is trying to be consistent across the reasoning it has given you. So what has happened here now? The steps are across the three reasoning paths. You restricted the machine to three, but then you have options. You can also make four, five. It's your call. Basically, three is the optimal because then the output becomes so big that the token will exhaust. So that's also one thing that you need to just check. This should have came as a early stage payload notice. I don't know why it has went too difficult, but then okay. Okay, you can try any one of this. I'm putting this into the file attached. See what you can get with your machines and hopefully best one, two. Try to build your prompt for a self-consistency path. Okay, there are three examples. File, save as. You can try this as a at home also. Consistency prompt. Okay. So you guys can try out this whenever you get time to just understand the processes and how you can build a prompt and give it some like see how you are able to write that prompts. Okay, coming to the another game or another thing into the chain of thoughts and thing is a tree of thoughts. So chain, very basic, one thing linked to another. So it's more of rationally connecting the things. Your self consistency, you're branching out, but you're limiting your branches to say two or three, and the decision is made between those things. What's happening here is that you have the branches, but those branch or you have yeah, you have the branches, but those branches would also have intermediate branches. It's like how tree. That's why it's a tree of thought. How the trees branch. There are maybe three prominent branches, and then there are other multiple branches. So it's like three, one and 1.2. Oh, sorry, 1.1, 1.2, 2, 2.1, 2.2. So everything that you're branching out from your self consistency is now further getting more branched out. I think that's the key word. So what you're looking at is that this helps when you want the machine to do maybe two tasks at once, like diagnosis also it does do, and also suggest a treatment option. So if it's anug, what the machine has said, the treatment plan is much different than what the treatment plan is for gingivitis. So we are trying to build a kind of prompt which enables the machine to give you the logically what will happen. That helps really when you have a complicated case or when you have a rare case and you need someone or some AI to kind of help you to reason out and give what is a likely scenario or what is the best way. It also helps when you to someone to decide on the best treatment possible. For example, if I'm looking at an ortho case, yes, putting in my metallic brush is one option, ceramic based other option. Third option is that I go for aligners. But then if I'm looking from that perspective, the cost, time of a treatment, what is the most or which path gives me least chance of relapse? What happens if I change? So these thoughts kind of put into branches. So if I'm saying, okay, let's go with metallic retainers or metallic, what would you call it? Metallic braces. What is the cost? How many times patient has to visit, and what is the chance of relapse? Same thing will happen for your ceramic retainers. Same will happen with your aligners. And from this, the machine will suggest, okay, this is the best considering the possibilities that, or considering the constraint that you want to put. Let me show you an example here. So yeah, let's take this thing. Okay, so if you are planning a full mouth rehabilitation of the patient with the missing anterior teeth, so as a dentist, yeah, you can go for ortho and then prosthesis. You can go for full arch prosthesis, and you can go for implant, separate, overdenture. That's the three options you have. But for each option, there's a cost, aesthetics, functions, and patient preference that is a sub branches. So that's how your tree of thought works. So you will look, you'll put more inputs and see what is the best that you can give here. Let's try with this thing. I'm giving this in a, I guess there is a big one, but let me try. And this is not one shot prompting. It takes a, let me try once and give this into the DOT prompt. Right. Okay. So this you need. Okay. If you mention this, the machine also understands that it's a TOT kind of prompt. So let me try this once on my Gemini thing. You can try on whatever machines you are using. Let me try. Okay, pages of plain text this time. So this is the case. What a case, a 35-year-old male patient with severe pain in lower left jaw, difficulty in opening mouth, mild fever and swelling extending towards neck. He reports history of partially erupted wisdom tooth and area. What the machine has to do? First, possible diagnosis, expand the diagnosis briefly, evaluate which diagnosis aligns with the symptom, conclude which is the most likely diagnosis and clinical advice. So let me run this prompt. My machine is okay. It's completely on full mode. Let me try this. Okay, no, it's doing now. Okay, hold on. Done. Okay, let me see what this guy has given. Anyone has got any output? Okay. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think you were restricted by the machine for Zoom for giving the response, but yeah. So let us see on this also. So what it has done is that it has split who, symptoms, and history. The tree of reasoning model, what we call in the TOT, is that you have a trunk that is a source of problem. The good thing is that it directly went to this thing, partially related wisdom tooth. Yes, okay, it's still going to creative, but fine. Then the space between a gum and flap or this okay, pericornitis. This initial inflammation gums is called okay, fine. Fever, trismus, swelling into neck indicates following more far beyond localized gum infection. Okay, fine. Let's see. Branch one, the most directed option is that severe pericornitis which spread to the facial spaces, that is odontogenic infection. And it's saying because it's always involved, difficulty, directly. Okay, fine. Second, more general but highly accurate is that odontogenic cellulitis. Okay, okay. Is less focuses less on one thing itself. Okay, this might the swelling is not well contained. Fine, looks okay. The third branch is that altered. Okay, and periapice of the wisdom tooth. Oh, okay. No, this would have not been thought. Cool. So which align best? I think likelihood is that history one aligns. Symptom it's saying branch one and branch two, and this thing okay. Most likely is that odontogenic space infection, cells subundible masseter spaces secondary to severe pericarditis. Okay. Oh well, I would have thought it's more of a yeah severe pericarditis, but cool. This is more convincing than what I thought. Okay, there are other things. Yeah. Okay, this is going to click, click, click. Okay. What it has given? Severe pericarditis. Okay. With secondary cellulitis, deep space infection reasoning. Okay. Looks cool. It has given the clinical advice. Okay. This guy doesn't give treatment. I think the Google has restricted from giving any drugs. That's the Google's feature into it because it doesn't want to change the, the law. Fine. This is okay. Um, Let me just quickly go back. What we have done. Yeah, pericarditis. So this is what the machine gave us. This no one machine never give. That is a temporomandibular joint disorder, and I think that might be because of the way that we have mentioned the details. ठीक cool. Pericarditis, cellulitis, pulpitis, TMJ clean. That's the second thing it has encouraged. Okay, may consider serious. Yeah, must consider submandibular cellulitis. Okay. Final submit. This is what the machine gave. IV and airway monitoring efficiency. Okay, that went too deep. Okay, but I think you got the idea how this tree of thought also works. It more like looks at the possibilities beyond the branches. So that's the idea of this. Quickly recapping, step back prompting what it is. It encouraged the models to zoom out and broader context. Again, a part of explainable AI or basis of that. Same how your chain of thought works. Tree of thought also works same alignment. So all these four things that we discussed today, they're all kind of ideas that you will use when you're looking at at the explainable AI as a concept. So that is something that healthcare needs so much because we cannot just say patient like you have a um, submandibular space infection because ChatGPT told you. No, that will not work. You need to reason and understand why it has came with that. We are looking at prompt, but also there's option that you can add x-rays. You can, sorry, we're going to get text. You can also add x-rays. You can add other clinical findings also. It will become much more richer. So the richer information you give, this process work much more better. So I think it's clear for all of you what is a step back prompting, what is chain of thought prompting, what is tree of thought, and what is self consistency prompting. Any questions so far or any queries that you guys have on this? Okay, thanks, Ravinder. I think I will go through this once. Any queries, any questions so far? We are at the end of this session. I think we'll just quickly explain I will what is the React prompting and what is the AP or automated prompt engineering. That is for the next session. So what is React prompting? It basically combines reasoning, what were looked, with action such as searching or calculating. It goes back to a database and looks. This is most commonly helpful again for your agentic AI or agents and not agents of AI is when you want the machine. For example, let's say you want to search something on the database or say your PubMed, anyone if you've used. What we do in PubMed is we build our own search strategy with terms, but then it's not as sensitive as possible because we try kind of the few keywords. But if we put this into the machine and say, no, I'm searching on this particular topic, these are my keywords, build in a library or build in a a string of variables that can be used to generate or to create a most sensitive search strategy, it will build more on that. So that's much more helpful. It also kind of, helps you to look at um, the ideas that you can get from outside the LLM's capacities. So that's, I think, one thing that React. So it's Reacts and so it's reasoning and action. That's two things where React comes. I would really like that. I'm giving you some two or three options in your um, capstone. You can work on whichever you feel is easier, but I think React would be very interesting if you are from a research or core research perspective background. Yeah, this is an example. I can share this and you can try this out. Basically, it will kind of try to give you let me try one this thing. I don't have any time, so I send you this you can try this. This would be the final answer the machine would give, but understand one thing. Let me save this first. So here you can see the action point. All right, let me try out if I get time. Let me see this. You can try this out. The machine might not ask the same question, but let me check. So I think this is what it has done. It has searched for the chin numbness with trismus and pain as from the its resources. The resource mostly is Google search engine, but then yeah, I can ask him to give me some feedback. Basically, what it does is that this is where the machine reacts to your or acts to your reactions. When you say search, if you're not knowing something, it just tries to find more content from the internet or something using that. So that's the addition on your TOT or a tree of thoughts or your self consistency prompting. So what it has done, contact immediately. Yeah, this is fine. It's the emergency and other things. Okay. So this is one example of React prompting. We'll go in deeper on this when this really is helping many companies who are actually trying to build uh, a EMR on top of a large language model. Best thing is that because it will go back and say, search on this ID and say, find what is happening and give back a better reasoning. So that's where there has been a lot of process on the agents and is happening in the React prompting part. The last thing today, and again, a bigger thing for next thing is the automatic prompt engineering. Uh, if I can possible, no, we are short of time. It will really help you. Mostly cases is to kind of when you are, I think there was one video which I remember was a AI agent talking to another AI agent. You give him a list of steps, if what is the response coming from. So if you're building an agent which has to book an appointment for you, or which has to, it is like a chatbot only, but a chatbot powered by a bigger knowledge bank. So it can kind of delve into those. You require APIs and other access for this thing, more into chatbot engineering part, but this kind of helps you to automate or optimize your questions and kind of create a specific chatbot which also understands like kind of integrates or with another systems and works on that segment. I think we'll go into this a bit deeper when we are going for the next session on 20th. I guess what is remaining? Yeah, it's just telling you how to. This is will not work much. Okay, I think guys, this is good for today. Any questions? Anything that specifically we missed or went too fast or anything? Are you able to understand? Maybe yeah, this looks kind of bit alien sometimes, but then this is not that different. We have been doing in some other way. Like if you speak with another human, you usually use the same idea. Like you try to get a better understanding, explain me, go back, let's step back and give me look at this. So that we have been doing when you give interviews, when you talk with someone. Same thing we're doing the machines, but we are just trying to understand the process, how machine reacts to those prompts, and how the output changes when your prompts kind of are tweaked with the chain of thought or the self consistency part, or maybe a tree of thoughts process. Any queries?
So what is the capstone project like, and can you share the PPT for both the days?
This PPT, I think Poonam will share. The capstone project, I think, give me some time. I will, I think, ask Poonam to share it by Tuesday to you guys so that you guys are aware. It's nothing bigger. Like we don't want you to spend multiple hours doing it. It's basically trying to just see that either you can use TOT part or either you can use the um, AP kind of thing or React prompting to build a small demo. Maybe you don't need to go outside this. You can just create a small demo and share a video also on 20th.
Are you reachable on akash.gp@IIHMR?
Yeah, that's my official mail ID. Yeah. Um, any other questions? Okay, great. So I think we can close for the day. Poonam, we have anything?
No, sir. Thank you so much, Akash sir, for this insightful session. We request all the participants to stay tuned and join the session 3, which is scheduled on next Friday at 4 o'clock. And we will share the PPT for this session as well as the previous session if you want over your emails on Monday. For any queries related to admissions or capstone project, feel free to reach us and we will be happy to answer your queries. Thank you,
Uh,
everyone. Thank you, Akash sir. Yes.
Regarding an admission, sorry to interrupt. Like regarding an admission, I had actually sent a mail to trainings for the new
Okay.
program. I believe Professor Akash is also one of the leads for
Was it for
generative
Gen
AI for
AI?
doctors.
Yeah, Gen AI for doctors. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I've shared a mail for them. I'm still expecting because what they mentioned is Dr. Akash and Dr. Satish are the spot for that. So I had mailed Dr. Satish and trainings. I am expecting a response back from them.
Okay. You can do one thing. You just forward that mail to me once. I will talk with the training teams. Maybe they need some input from Dr. Satish and they're waiting for that. I'll just check and get back.
Thank you, Dr. Akash. Thanks. Have a good day.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
So thank you, everyone,
Thank you. Yeah.
and have a wonderful day and a happy weekend ahead.